All right, so the breaking news today, the FBI has arrested Brian Cole Jr. in connection with the January 5th, January 6th pipe bombing that took place in front of the DNC, RNC on the infamous January 6th, a date in which Kamala Harris said was just as bad or worse than 9/11 and Pearl Harbor. Yet we don't see much coming from the Democrats today, including Kamala Harris herself, applauding the FBI's work, saying thank you because she, of course, was only 20 feet away from the pipe bomber. More on that in a second, though. Who is Brian Cole Jr.? Here's what we know. Now, there's some pictures floating around online. I'm not going to post here. I'm not sure which ones are verified or what it is, but we know the guy's name is Brian Cole Jr. He is 30 years old. That puts him at 25 years of age at the time of January 6, 2021. He is a Virginia resident of Woodbridge, Virginia. I believe that's like Northern Virginia. His step-grandfather, Earl Danette, spoke with the FBI. We didn't get much more other than that. He apparently lives with his mom and other family members. He graduated from Hialeton High School in 2013. This is all in Prince William County. There was some reports that he dropped out of school. I've seen two reports, one from NBC and one from, I think it was Newsweek, that had him as a graduate, again, of Hialeton High School in 2013. He's going to be making his first appearance tomorrow, so we'll get a better idea, a verified picture. Maybe we get the mugshot, something like that, to go on. He bought his bomb components at the Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, and other stores using a credit card that the FBI has tracked. So we very much, obviously his social media is wiped out. We can't find anything else going on about that. But there's a lot of questions here. Number one, again, where is Kamala Harris coming out with a big thank you to the FBI? This should be more. We heard all about January 6th and what MAGA was capable of. Yet the January 6th pipe bomber never was mentioned. Kamala Harris went on her whole 107-day campaign and never mentioned the fact that the MAGA tried to take her out. I mean, she was right there. They could have wiped her, especially after Donald Trump was shot. She could have said, hey, they tried to take me out too. Look at what MAGA did to me. She never brought that up along the campaign trail. Wonder why that is. And why is it that you compare January 6th to 9/11, yet today it's as big a breaking news as you can get. This is like finding Osama bin Laden, if you think it's like September 11th, and yet snores from the Democrat Party here. And according to Kash Patel and Pam Bondi, there was no new information that came across here. This was just all of the stuff they already had access to. Why did Biden's FBI not arrest this guy? They arrested every grandmother that was in the parking lot of a D.C. area in Washington, D.C. on the day of January 6th. They couldn't find this guy. So what is his connections here? What happened to the Steve Baker report? We had the report from Steve Baker that was the bombshell using the gate analysis. He pinpointed the suspect that planted the bombs to be Shawnee Kirkhoff, a Capitol Police officer who was later recruited into the CIA. What happened to that story there? Is there any connection here to any of Nancy Pelosi's security detail or anybody on the Democrats? The January 6th Select Committee never got into the January 6th pipe bomber. It's a story they never wanted to touch. And you would think that this was concrete proof. Look at what MAGA was trying to do here. Obviously, does not seem to be any MAGA connection here. Some reports saying that this guy is an anarchist. But this goes right into the January 6th cover-up. We learn there's 300 undercover plainclothes FBI agents that were in the crowd on January 6th. We know that this thing was a setup. There's no doubt about it. The Democrats tried to use this so much to go against MAGA, go against Trump, and go against his supporters. They purposely leave out the parts of his speech where he tells everybody to peacefully walk down to the Capitol. They have been setting this up for a very long time, and now all of a sudden it's crumbling around them. Now, is there a connection to the CIA? Is there any reporting from the Steve Baker story that is true? Are there other people that are involved? Will we see more arrests? A lot of people out there saying you can't trust the FBI, so they don't believe the story. They think this guy might be a patsy and that the real person is a CIA operative or something like that. One way or the other, we know this thing was coordinated. It was coordinated to make Trump and his supporters look bad. How do we know this? Because out of the 1,000 Trump rallies that have taken place over the last 10 years, there was never a sign of a smidgen of violence at any single rally prior to January 6th, and never was there ever another smidgen of violence at any MAGA rally after January 6th. Only that one day, where usually we know the Democrats, when they get together for a rally, it turns violent almost all the time. I mean, we've seen that, no matter what they do, they're always involved with some violence, some arrests. That's bread and butter of their operation. We see what's going on right now with the ICE protests that they're doing. They're many times they're turning violent. That never happened with the MAGA crowd, with the MAGA Trump rallies. So why didn't Biden's FBI find this guy? Obviously, it's because they did not want to find the guy, because it blows up their entire narrative. This was a setup here. It looks like 100%. But who do you trust? I mean, we have to go with what we're being presented with. We have right now two conflicting stories, where you have the one from Steve Baker and his gate analysis pointing towards a former Capitol Police officer turned CIA. Now we have the FBI making an arrest of Brian Cole Jr., a 30-year-old. They're saying a lone wolf guy. I mean, somebody had to be involved in this. Did this guy come up with this all by himself? How did he get away with it for so long? Who was covering up? Who was protecting this guy? He, for all accounts, seems like a ham and egger. And this guy was able to dupe the FBI for 5 years, living right underneath their nose. You smell a rat. He came up with this idea to do this, and he put these two bombs there that didn't detonate, and just that was it. He gave up, never went back and tried anything else. He just did just that one day. A lot of the stuff doesn't add up. We have a lot more questions, I think, than we do answers, but we're making progress here in the fact that we are showing that this was a setup, that January 6th was a complete setup because of the stolen election, and they didn't want you asking questions about it. So they turned that whole thing, and we've seen them grandstand about this for so long, especially Kamala Harris. A darkest day, she compared it flat out to September 11th and Pearl Harbor, which is absolutely an insult to the family members that are alive, that survived September 11th, or that have family members that died in Pearl Harbor. So it's just a total slap in the face, because the way that they tried to frame this. But this is the one we've been waiting for here. So props to Kash Patel and the FBI there in getting this done. Again, people aren't going to believe the FBI no matter what. So it's like, yes, should we question this? Of course we should. But what is the point? What story are you going to actually believe? What is the truth? And it seems so much harder now to decide what is the truth and what is the spin, what is the cover-up, what is the story. So everyone kind of comes at this from a different perspective. We're seeing that going on right now with the Tyler Robinson, the guy who shot Charlie Kirk. We see the big spin going on around with that entire thing there. Nobody believes anybody. Everybody's a conspiracy theorist. And it seems like in a day where we have access to more information than ever before in our history, we have less truth than we ever have. I mean, that's the way it seems. But we're going to find out more tomorrow. This guy will be arraigned. Brian Cole Jr. He is a Virginia resident, 30 years old, living at home with his mom. He was arrested today. Obviously, big police presence around this guy's house. It looks like it's in a nice neighborhood. So who is he? Who is he connected to? Is this guy Antifa? Was he recruited by the government? Was the government covering up for this guy? There's a lot more questions we're going to have to get to, but this is all we know. Is very little right now. Do you know any more information, any updated information? Get it in the comments down below. As soon as I get more, I'll bring it to you once I got it.
You're listening to the Alec Show. The future is family.